Welcome to The Backstory, a podcast from the North Dakota News Cooperative that takes an in-depth look at the stories we're reporting for you. I'm Sabrina Halvorson, CEO of the North Dakota News Cooperative. Joining me is Michael Standaert, our lead reporter. We wanted to talk about one of the latest articles from the North Dakota News Cooperative, and it is titled, Trump Policies Leave North Dakota Summer Tourism Prospects Uncertain. So, Michael, you, of course, are the reporter for this, and I want to know what went into some of the research you did for this article.
So, I noticed a lot of national outlets had been covering the Park Service firings and kind of the impacts to national parks. And that was kind of the first entry point for this story. And I tried to reach out to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park to get information on whether there had been any firings at the park. And they said they couldn't really say that. They couldn't give the information. They sent me to the national level, National Park Service media people. Those people didn't respond. Then they sent me to the Midwest regional office people, and they didn't respond initially. So I kind of put this on the back burner to see if anything else developed. And I noticed that there were discussions among Canadians and news reports about Canadians potentially having informal travel boycotts to the state. So I thought these two issues together could have an impact on the state in the summer, particularly during the high tourist season times for various parks around the state. Medora relies heavily on tourists at the park. And there's other areas that do rely heavily on Canadian tourists. So I started to call around to places like Frost Fire Park up in the northeast part of the state and got somebody on the phone, and they're like, yeah, we've had impacts already. We've had about 25% drop in visitors in this last month. And they explain that about 75% of their clientele is from Canada because they're so close to the border up there. So they'd been impacted. I did speak with the Bottineau ski area as well. They didn't want to go on the record, but yeah, all this just was interesting to look into and see how it might impact the summer tourism season. A lot of that is, as one of the people quoted, it's like, we'll see how the dust settles. So that's kind of what everybody was saying. Even some of the politicians I'd reached out to, they're trying to spin it in a way that makes it look like they're doing something, makes it look like there's not a big concern. But when you do speak to people, there is some concern, and in some cases there is already some impact.
One of the things that immediately comes to mind when you think about Canadian tourism in North Dakota is the International Peace Garden. And I noticed that was also mentioned in the article as well. You called them as well.
Yes. And they're in their low season right now, so they haven't really felt much impact. But, similar to Frost Fire Park, they had received emails from people very concerned with the situation, concerned with the Trump tariffs, and which have now taken effect, and concerned with a lot of the 51st state comments that have come from President Trump and some people within the administration. I think there's just a lot of dismay at where that's coming from and whether they'll feel welcome in North Dakota and in the United States. The people at the International Peace Garden are admit that this should be a site for celebrating the peace between the two countries, and that it should be welcoming to everyone.
So as you were working on reporting on this, was there anything else that really kind of caught your attention or stuck out to you?
I thought it was interesting. I reached out to the tourism departments at the Department of Commerce, and their director had said that they have delayed a marketing campaign that they usually run in Canada because of the friction between the U.S. and Canada right now, and then the tariffs and the informal travel boycotts that people say that they're going to follow. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
And that is reporter Michael Standaert with the backstory into the North Dakota News Cooperative article on Trump policies that are leaving North Dakota summer tourism prospects uncertain. You can read that full story on our website at newscoopnd.org. For the North Dakota News Cooperative, I'm Sabrina Halvorson. This has been The Backstory.